Everybody wants to have a podcast, but nobody wants to be a podcaster. My name is Freddy Cruz. Welcome to this episode of Your Mic. It's a podcast for aspiring hosts, new hosts, and existing hosts that are maybe past episode 50 and are thinking about hanging up the headphones. Don't even think about it. Now back to podcasting. Everybody wants to have a podcast, but nobody wants to be a podcaster because, well, that would require work. We're talking about arranging schedules to record. And if you have an interview format, now you're having to rely on your guests. Will the guests even show up? What happens if they don't show up? When they do show up, you're having to record the interview, make sure the levels are okay, everyone sounds good. When the interview's done, you take the audio file, maybe the video file too, if it's a video episode. Now you've got to deal with editing and producing and mastering, making sure everything is cool. That QC, quality control. Writing the show notes. Oh, by the way, AI can do that. A catchy title, AI can do that too. Now you got to deal with the scheduling. Rinse and repeat over and over and over and over again. It's a lot of work. You got to prepare for the interview. Yeah, everybody wants to have a podcast. Nobody wants to be a podcaster. We want the downloads. We want the notoriety, I guess. Not really me. But when I talk to people who are thinking about having a podcast, maybe jumping on board and starting a show with Speke Podcasting, that's my media company that produces shows for clients and helps clients get on shows, that it's all about how many downloads can we expect in 6 weeks or 8 weeks? How about we focus our efforts on delivering a binge-worthy show, one that's worth somebody investing their money into? And then we can start chasing sponsors. Or maybe you just, from the get-go, make the show the product itself. You make the show the product itself with at least one, possibly 2 or even 3 CTA, calls to action, telling people about your thing, about your stuff, having customers on your show, talking about what you do, why they love it. You're the best. I tell my friends all about you. Productizing your podcast itself instead of chasing fast food ads or insurance company ads. The pre-roll is what that is. But if you think of your podcast in terms of your brand's health, I'm going to make a parallel, okay? Play along. You can have a podcast. It's what you do with the podcast that'll make your brand healthy. Much the way you can have free-range chicken, organic broccoli, and organic kale. But it's what you do with that chicken, kale, and broccoli that determines whether or not you're eating a healthy diet. Same goes for podcasting. Instead of baking the chicken and lightly steaming the broccoli, not too much so that the nutrients stay in it, you bread the chicken, you deep fry it, you salt it to no end, you serve it with pasta and garlicky and salty meat sauce, and the broccoli is over steamed, no nutrients left, and then what's left is actually drowned in melted butter. Does that sound healthy? Probably not. But instead, if you bake it, lightly steam it, you got a healthy meal, just like with the podcast. You have a strategy. You outline your episodes. You got a 30 to 40 second, what we call a cold open, in which we talk about what's coming up on the show. Call to action, perhaps, at the beginning, telling people to subscribe, leave a review. You get right into the meat of the episode. The episode's not going to be too long. By the way, you don't start your episode with, hey, how was your day? Oh, you won't believe this. I was trying to buy a couch this past weekend. Nobody cares. Really, nobody cares. Don't believe me? Ask them. Or better yet, go into your analytics and see for yourself. Drop off. Boring. So what you got to do in order to maintain a healthy podcast diet is have that plan, have that deliberate, that intentional cold open, get right into your podcast episode, and then promote it. Talk about it in your newsletter, highlight it on social media, your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, put it on your stories, YouTube Shorts. Talk about it when you're out and about. Have your graphic design team or do it yourself if you're a solopreneur type. Go into Canva, make a QR code that links to your Apple, Spotify pages. Talk about it. Have people scan the QR code. Hit subscribe. That is what we call a healthy podcast diet. Simple steps, things that sometimes we don't even think about or even consider because we're too busy within the minutia of having a show. These are all things that we can do to maintain a healthy podcast diet. So in summary, outline your episodes, have that cold open, right into it, into the body of the podcast. CTA, promote, talk about it, rinse, repeat, systematize it, operationalize it, and maybe, just maybe, after 10 episodes, after 20 episodes, after 40 episodes, you've been going at this for a year or 2 years, you'll pop off. Sooner rather than later, who knows? I don't have a crystal ball, but you are setting yourself up for success sooner rather than later because you went into your podcast with a plan. And if you want to chat podcasting, you can always shoot me an email, Freddy with a Y, Freddy at spekepodcasting.com. Thank you for listening to this episode of Your Mic.